As we begin, today, and as we get closer to the the seminar, the live seminar in Phoenix, you're going to begin to find out there's a lot of stuff that you're going to learn in that particular course. And guess what? The course is not going to be what we normally charge back when it was a normal time on the planet. All right. Back as of January last year and February last year, the price that you're going to be receiving once I put it out there is way beyond half. It's like not even, it's only a quarter of the original price. So when you figure that, when you see the price, you'll see what I'm saying by the quarter. It's not that much. It's not that expensive. The thing is, you're going to get yourself, before what we used to do, we used to cover the hotel and everything else. We're not going to do that. We're just going to, you guys have to cover yourself, whatever you wish. Call the hotel if you want to stay there, or if not, stay away. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I am one guy that is really particular. When I say I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock, I'm there about an hour earlier, getting myself together there. I start at 8. They close the doors. Of course, you'll be able to come in, but whatever you miss, that's on you. So I want to be real straight. It's just like, if it's your business, would you allow anyone to come into your business late? Of course not. Since you're the CEO of the business, that's the way I'm going to treat and handle you. That you're going to be accountable not only for your actions, but you're going to be accountable for the way you think, how you think, and what you actually come up with. Now, is it right? Wrong thinking? I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. But as your behaviors will show you why you don't make the money that you actually need, that you actually deserve to make. You're going to find out you're the one that's in the way of your building your business credit. It's by the way you think, by the way you talk, by the way you walk, by the way you behave, by how you articulate, and by how you speak about certain items. Is it the right or correct way? See, people can take it as that. But in this whole seminar live, not only going to learn about the business arena, you're going to learn exactly what the difference between a person that's once started like you, which means not just myself in life. I'm talking about like Steve Jobs, Amazon, Bezos, Berkshire, which Warren Buffett. Their thinking when they first started is just like all of ours. But they began to realize that their originating circle either sucked them dry or moved them forward. You cannot be a loner all your life, because if you are, eventually you will run out of buffet of ideas. You've got to be around people that actually make a difference, which means, what are they doing? Why are they making more than me? You should be glad that someone's making more than you and is willing to share their ideas, their actions, their behaviors, not like someday dreams. These are things they put into action el prontito. In other words, immediately, at least within 24 hours. Then they begin to realize, if you don't have anything written down, and I can even prove this for those of you that really don't believe, let's say, in the Bible itself, but you see the other people like Think and Grow Rich, the richest man in Babylon. You have all these other people, that tell you, like Tony Robbins, all these other people that talk about you should have your goals written down. Well, I can tell you even where they stole it from. They stole it from the Bible. Why? Because it's in Habakkuk 33:3. 33:3. Go look it up. It tells you about what to write and how to pursue it. So I'm just going to tell you, they just took it and put it in regular day life. So the people that don't believe in the Bible, at least they'll believe a human being. Well, however that is, but it's written down, started way long ago before I don't know what before we were thought of, but before you were ever born on this planet. So it's really powerful when you have something that you're up to, something that commitment is this. It's not about a feeling. Commitment is not feeling. If you want feelings, then go have feelings, but commitment will never give you feelings. Commitment is when you say X, you're going to do X, and it's no matter what. Even if you put your foot in it, you got to be willing to say, oops, I ate it. All right. And then once you say you ate it, that's good. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're not willing to fail big, if you're not willing to go ahead and look, if you're not willing to look silly or dumb or whatever word you come up with, if you're not willing to fail and go, you know what, fail big, and who cares who knows, because you're going to learn from that. And if you're afraid of that, you need to go ahead and join the modern day plantation. Go work for somebody. Go live off the checks the government gives you, and then on top of that, then don't complain about life. And I say have to. If you want to, you've got to be like that lion. The lion you see right here. And the reason why I say you got to be like the lion, one thing you want to begin to understand is this. Guess what? You're the one that's going to make a difference on the planet one way or the other. Whether you are happy, whether you're sad, whether you're without whatever, the bottom line is for you is that where are you going to be 1 year from now? Look where you started last year. What did you do since COVID-19 in March of 2020? Did you lie down? Did you say, oh, poor me? Did you say, oh, lions, tigers, and bears, oh my? Come on, folks. Really listen to this, because this is really, it's not only about building your business credit. It's not about only building your personal credit and getting it all straightened out. It's about really what are you up to in life that you're willing to go ahead and be the beast, like the lion. It doesn't mean you're going to be mean. It doesn't mean you're going to be nasty, but it just means you're going to pursue what you really say you are. You want to find out if you're a beast or not? When you say, yeah, I'm excited, you leave pumped and everything else and all excited. And then when you say, yeah, I'm going to get up at 3 a.m. and do this. When 3 a.m. shows up, it's time to be the beast. What a lot of you do. You weenie out. You get all, well, 1 more hour, you press your alarm clock instead of just jumping out of bed like the lion. Every day you're going to be battling something. I hate to tell you that. And I really do, because a lot of people can't handle the truth about, when I say battle does not mean it's going to be treacherous. It really doesn't. It could be the most easiest day of your life, but you still got to get up and battle. Don't you think the gazelle, think a moment, the gazelle wakes up every day knowing it's going to have to run from this lion. Every day the gazelle wakes up and knows it's going to have to run from some beast every day. Now, also the lion knows this. It's going to wake up every day and it's going to go have to chase the beast that he wants to eat. Every day, the lion's going to chase the gazelle. And not just only the gazelle, I'm just using it as a reference point for you can understand that. No matter which way you go in life, you're either going to lie down and be eaten, or you're going to be running from it to your goal, or you're going to be running to catch the goal, or you're going to be the goal that goes after the two. It's going to be what you're going to decide to do. And if you're going to be lazy, come up with excuses why you can't. Well, I can't make an appointment. I didn't plan on time. Man, just go back to work. Go work for Walmart and they'll pay you a decent wage. But if you're not going to be committed to when your word says, I'm going to be there at this time, you be there at this time. And if you think I'm talking to you, I am talking to you. Remember that. If you think I'm talking to you, you bet I am talking to you. Now, what does it have to do with business credit? What does it have to do with personal credit? It has to do a lot, because there's things you really, if you're up to doing, that things are going to be required of you to do. And let me tell you, either you're going to be the lion or the gazelle, or you're going to be the main lion going after the lion and going after the gazelle because you know what you're going after. It's going to be up to you. If you're not where you're at, last year till now, this date, the 31st of January, if you're still at the same income level that you were last year, guess what you just told yourself? What excuses do you have? There is none. You want to find excuses? Excuses are only for people that just happen to be a little lazy. Now, some of them work well if you put a gun to their head and pull the trigger back. And you say, I'm going to pull it unless you get out of bed and get going. Some people say, well, just shoot me because I don't really know what I'm going to do. Folks, this is the most hardest. This is one of the things that you do on YouTube or whatever like this. It's really hard to get the essence of it versus being in a room with 20 people and you're going over, because in the seminar, we go over a lot of stuff that people will never realize. Wow, we pick things apart that leaves you empowered. See, one thing is what's going to leave you empowered is it inspiration's nothing. It goes away. Inspiration just blows up the balloon that you're in. But if your inspiration disappears, it's because your balloon has a leak. You're the only one that's going to plug the leak in your balloon. Building business credit, a lot of people just give it to you, and a lot of people complain it doesn't work, and it doesn't work because you don't work. Everybody wants, when I say everybody, that includes myself. I'm not exempt from this mantra. I'm not exempt from what I'm telling you. I'm saying this because every day I have to take a look at. Every day the clients that I go have meetings with and have training with, you think I really want to do it all the time? Heck no, I'll be honest. But the thing is, I gave them my commitment. I know I'm going to make a difference in their life. If they don't give me their commitment, that's okay. I move on to somebody else that will. Some people keep changing their appointments. There's certain programs they're in, we'll just kick them out of the program and let them start. It's okay, it's no problem. But you know what? We have too many cases with other programs that we have, the people that when they come in, we give them stuff they want to make some money with. We have a program they can do things and they can go ahead and make some money. We have a youngster that just started last week, a youngster. I mean a youngster, he's 25, okay? So now with that said, he was doing something else for us outside of that, making his money for his business to go ahead and grow, to work on his building as a corporate credit. And the guy made last week, in a week, he got a hold of a couple of things he made some calls with, and the gentleman made already $4,672 he made. Why? Because he was there. In fact, way before he'd be calling me. What time are you going to call me for sure this time? I said, yes. All right. But that's what I'm talking about, commitment. Why? He has a burning desire. He has a family, he has a kid, and another kid on the way. Let me tell you, if you're not hungry, you will get eaten. My whole desire for me is not only for me to leave a legacy, not only to my children and to my grandchildren, but also in the fact to let them know that no matter what comes your way, you can do it. You can be just like a lion. Now, in corporate credit and business credit, this is what goes on with corporate credit blueprints. One thing I want to let you know, we have a program for the truckers. This is another thing. We have another gentleman that actually goes out with the truckers, and he spends his own money on this. We give him one flyer, an example, and also a book that he can go and they put their own information on it, and they go print up their own flyers, and they go handing stuff out. All right, and they have the information where they can get a brand new person that has the most horrible credit. Even if their business has bad credit, we can still get them a gas card, period. And then they get engaged. Well, wow, you know what? And that's the whole process. My thing is to let a lot of people really do not understand really what business credit and business funding is all about. They really think it's about getting the money. Don't get me wrong. It is about getting the money. But how do you multiply it so you don't have to go through what you did the first time? A lot of people think you have to do the whole thing all over again. You do not. You do not have to go over it again. You do not have to go over it again. One beautiful thing about this whole thing is this. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when all of a sudden 3 months from now, you're still at the same place that you're at, all because you're not willing to follow the instructions? Now, some instructions I understand. There's another slide I'm going to get to in a minute, but some of the instructions are based on action, and guess what? There's a reaction when you do it. If you do X, X is going to happen. And when it does, it does. Now, remember, it's not a perfect system. For instance, I can't explain why Grainger will report on a company, 3 or 4 companies right away, and it might not report on yours right away. That I can't tell you, but I know it will report. But once it starts, you're on the races. I mean, there's some people that people have companies that report that don't report on other companies yet, and then they report later on. It's really it's an unusual cycle. I'm not really sure, but 90 days from now, if you really push it and really do it, 90 days means this. 90 days ago in the past, you would have applied for 5 places in 1 month. Then you would have the score. And if you didn't do it in 1 month, if you didn't do it in 1 month and were paying the fees that needed to be paid, either way, you're going to have to order a product. So if you have to pay for a membership, cool. If you have to pay for this, cool. Let me tell you, even if you're dead broke, there's a way you can still do all this. But what I want to let you know about the trucking thing, people make money with them. Why? Because now they trust you. Why? You got them a gas card, $2,000, $3,000, $6,000. All right? As long as they have a business checking account, everybody's happy. Now, they got to have a DUNS number. They got to have a tax ID number. If you're willing, in fact, one of the gentlemen that does that, he has a laptop and he sits right down where they're at and does all the information right there. get the Dun and Brad done, get the tax ID form if they don't have one, and then go online and get a bank online. Folks, it's that easy. When I say that, it's easy, other than the time you got to put in. Even if you kind of don't know what you're doing, if you know how to get your own tax ID number, and if you know how to get your own DUNS number without talking to them, guess what? You can do that. Then you can go online because they'll be right there. You have yourself a portable scanner so you can scan their driver's license in and upload it to the bank right there on the spot. And then most of them have a debit card so they can open the account with $25. All right, boom, they're set. They're ready to rumble. Then you go now right over to get them a gas card, and guess what they're going to ask them for? What's your banking name? ABC Bank. What's the routing number? Routing number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. What's your bank account number? 2468. Who do you want to appreciate? All that stuff. That's who it is. So what I want to let you know, one of the most beautiful things that you have in this industry is, are you willing to do what the rest aren't doing? You want to belong to the 1%, but a lot of you don't want to do what the 1% are doing in order for to reach $1 million in business credit. Yes, it's easy, but some of you, it's going to take you 24 months. You're going to be moaning and groaning. Oh, it's so hard. You want hard, I'll hire you and I'll give you a pick and shovel and I'll pay you minimum wage, even if it's $15 an hour for a 100-foot ditch, 4 feet wide and 5 feet deep. And it has to be in one day. You start at 6 and you'll finish at 6. Now that will be hard work. What it is a lot of us are not trained to be mentally exercised to do what you need to do. You rather think about what you don't have, what's not working. You rather give that the power than give the power of action. ACTION. A lot of you are way so smart that you're a smart rat, I call. You're not willing to do what it takes, and you can want to complain, well, they got this and they got that, because they just were willing to do it. That's it. So what? I'm not going to lie to you. I've ate Top Ramen a lot. Do you think I liked it? No, but I still remember my destination. My destination, I always remember that. My kids, my family, and what I'm going to do for other people, then I get the hit. Because then people that are actually willing to do it make a big difference. All I want to say to you, even the truckers, you could talk to a trucker at a truck station, have your laptop. Hey, you want to get a credit card right now? Let's call this guy. Let's call him up here. Do you have this? No. Do you have this? No. You want to set it up right now? Yeah. If you want to, charge. How much? Charge them $97. Have a credit card machine. Charge them a little $97 to get them a card. And do all the work right there. Have a laptop. You probably have a line lined up. Let me tell you, I'm really giving you ideas. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But what I really want to say to you folks is that not only do I love who you are as human beings, I get, because I'm a human being just like you. Yeah, I have moments. I have sad moments, happy moments. I have the whole cycle, the 90 days of this. Oh my God, lions and terror. But I don't buy into it. It's only stories. I don't look at what the world is showing me. I look what my desire and my dream is on paper, and that's what I look at, because that's the outcome. If I have, this sounds crazy, but you know what else I do that we do at the workshop? A lot of people think it's crazy, but when they leave, they leave empowered with something to take with them, is I do collages. I collage what I'm up to. I collage what I'm looking at. That's the most powerful thing you can do, because when you put it down, it's like, whoa. And what's a collage? If you don't know, Google it. And it's not very big. You take a collage and you collage maybe a paper about this size. I don't know. You can't even see there. Darn camera broken. But 8.5 by 11, 8 by 17 are the legal size. But again, what I'm telling you about what's has to do with truckers business guide, because even truckers go through the same thing. They're always on the road. They got all the time to think. But you know what? They don't get the kind. I like to get corporate credit going or business credit going for my truck because I'm an expand. But who do I call? They need to know who they can count on for their dream. Even you, those of you that are in our organization now, you find somebody, bring them over. We'll go ahead and we'll coach them for you, which means You got to be there in the training with them though. We're just going to be, you're going to be the expert. We're going to be the slave for you. And we don't have a problem doing that. We don't have any problem making sure you learn while they're learning. But one thing I want to say to you is that there's no limit to what you can have as long as you're willing to go ahead and play the game, which means the game, what you're up to and what you're willing to do no matter what. You're not willing to break your word. You're not willing to break your commitment. And if you do, you know way ahead of time, you know, if let's say if I tell you, I'm going to see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. I know today when I say that, what's already in the thing. There's no last minute stuff that comes up. Because if it's last minute, you say, nope, I already have a prior appointment. I need to go around that. A lot of you are afraid to say to people, I have a prior appointment because the fact you were so worried about being liked. Liked is cheap. You want to be liked, my man? You can't count on men. Words are cheap. The only thing you can count on is the action of a party that does something on a continuous basis. But the bottom line is, even then, even I make mistakes that way. Sometimes I'll double book, or they double book me because I didn't tell them I had another booking. So who's that on? It's not them, it's on me. And I have to eat it. I can't just say, oh, you know what? No. There's times I don't want to do a training and I'm thinking, how can I get out of this? I'm just like you. I said, no, wait a minute. I gave my word to this person. This person's counting on me. And the only reason why they'll let me off the hook is because they want to do the same thing if they make an appointment with me to go cut it. That's why I do not go ahead and break my word. Because the minute you come to me with that, I'm going to go ahead and bust you with your own thing. Nope. This is what time I have, and that's it. I might let it go a couple of times, but after that, I say, nope. I tell you what, just call me when you're ready and you're ready to be committed, and I'll talk to you later. And I hang up. I don't care if you even belong to the organization, that even if you're a part of the training. You're training, I'll train you. I'll be there every time when I say it's your job to show up. It's not even my job to remind you. I just have people remind people to go ahead, just have the courtesy. Now, on top of this, though, if you have another appointment with us and you say you want to change it, we might let you do it a couple of times. But after that, you know what? We get you not serious, because if you're serious, you make it. If you really want to make money, you show up. That's what I'm trying to. Do you think these truckers don't show up every day? I see these truckers every day. Some of them, I go to some of the gas stations early in the morning to see, and I see the same guys every day go there, or some every week, because they go out and they come back. And folks, I'm telling you, you think if they stayed home, they'd be making money? No. I've heard a lot of these stories. Some of these guys really don't want to drive that day, but they drive because guess what? It's a commitment. They got a load that's counting, and they know if they miss a load, it's going to cost them. I think every time that you miss something in your business credit, when you say you're going to do something and you don't, I think the business credit should be taken away. Personally, that's my own personal thought. Until you learn that the fact that it takes a commitment, and it sounds strong to say it, but you know what? No one's willing to talk to you out of love this way. As a human being, I want to see each and every one of you have your dreams and desire, probably more than you do, and that's my downfall. In fact, someone did tell me one time, it's my downfall. You care more about them than they care about themselves. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, the thing is I just know bottom line is this. I am willing to go ahead and go what I got to go to do to make sure you guys are awesome. And here you're all awesome. Here's great funny thing about it. Each and every one of you are really great and brilliant in your own way. You really are sharp. You're not, none of you are ding-dongs out there. I don't care if someone says anything about you. I know for a fact you were not made or born anything less than great. But are you willing to step up to the plate and go get it? It takes something to go ahead and do great. Doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. It just means, guess what? You're willing to go ahead and be so authentic with yourself that you're not willing to go ahead and let yourself slide because of the fact you don't feel like it. Because your feelings change. You use your commitment to power you, because commitment is not hooked to feelings. It's a commitment. There's some commitments you're not going to miss because you want to get this done. Those of you that are on the state unemployment, or those who are getting Social Security, nothing wrong with that. You count on that every month. What are you going to do if it's late? Oh, you be crying and moaning and growing. Oh, it's not here. Because guess what? If you're relying on that and you're not making your own stimulus money, you deserve when it's late. Why? Because it's late. There's nothing you can do about it. You can call them and they're going to tell you, we're sorry, we're working on it, we get it back. There was an error, there's this, that, and the other thing. But oh no, When commitment comes calling on you, what do? Some of you dance like, oh, well, it's okay because it's not going to hurt. Yes, it does. Do you realize when you do something that you missed on the day working on your business, it's almost like missing a week? Oh, yeah, we did that test before. That's crazy. Now, you want to know the truth about how to obtain business credit, even if you're a dead broke? Guess what? Then find a way to get a job or work a job. Or for us, like I said, we have kind of three different jobs that we offer people. And when someone we offer them the real higher, the one guy we gave the higher paying job, and there's other people we give the higher paying jobs to because we really believe in them. Now, the thing is they have to start believing in themselves and get into the action and stop being scared. There's nothing to be scared of except that you know yourself. See, if you're really inauthentic, you usually are afraid of people. I personally, you know what? I will grace, like for instance, I'm graciously telling you things here on the YouTube because of the fact kids might be listening. I don't want to hear, the F-bombs drop and everything else. And also I don't really want to drop the F-bomb because it's just no longer, I don't think it's even really, I don't know if it's polite, but I think if you're going to say the F-bomb, you might as well just say really what it means because it's an acronym. It's fornication under carnal knowledge. That's all it is. And people make it a big deal, but you can't just say, but the time you say fornication under carnal knowledge, you start laughing. Oh my God, it's a long word. What did you just say? Well, I just said, right? But you say that, people get weird. But even me saying fornication under carnal knowledge, it's not weird to you, is it? But that's the acronym. That's the whole acronym. But if you really want to know the truth about obtaining business credit, even if when you're dead broke means you get a second job so you can start paying for some of the stuff. And 12 months from the time you start, you won't be broke. Dead broke is up mentally. Dead broke is forever. Dead broke is temporary, but poor is for a lifetime. Some of you rely on stuff you should never be relying on. I promise you, the government said tomorrow, we're wiping out all benefits, all Social Security, unless you're over 70 or something like that. Security disability, sorry. You know what, if you can work, if you can be on the phone, then you know what, we'll get you a phone job and you have the phone in order to get your money. You guys would be like going cuckoo. See, what I'm saying is that there's no reason for anybody out there, no matter where they're at in life, they can have what they want. And even if you're dead broke, you can still find a way. Even if you work, let's say, an extra 20 hours, you figure, okay, great. This is how much you need to get started. I tell you, there's some dead broke ways to do it, which means and a lot of people make fun of this. There's some big house businesses out there and they make fun of people that say, well, you know what? If you have to do a shoestring budget, then you shouldn't be doing whatever it is. That's not true. That is totally not true. And that's the reason why some people struggle, because they're telling people some goofy stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you this much. The problem that most people have, it's not that their bills are too much, is that their money's too small. You got small money, and that's why you say you have big problems. When the minute you start getting big money, now your problems begin to shrink. That's the only difference. You want small problems? Then get big money. How do you get big money? You start from where you're at. If you're dead broke, then start from there. You figure I need to work a job for 20 hours a week. They'll pay me so much to get this, then I can order this, and I can order this, and I can order this. That's what you do. But then in 12 months, you're going to have not only money to spend, but you'll be able to invest in a business, whatever business you want. You'll have the OPM, other people's money, to get what you're looking for. Yes, it's going to take work. There's a lot of people right now out there still wishing and hoping and dreaming and say, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I can tell, in fact, what I'm actually going to do at the live seminar, I'm going to break down my whole life, what I went through and what I've been through. And I'm going to tell you something. The only reason why I never quit is because I still had the goals, the collages, and what I wrote down. And the bottom line is, every day I look at it and I thank the Lord for them. Why? Because I understand what he meant by it says, write it down in Habakkuk. All right, next thing. This is all we're trying to do. And I say trying, we give you the information. Even doing the YouTube thing, you could turn it off and not listen to it. What's so brilliant about being at the live webinar, the live seminar in Phoenix in May is this, is that we're there together from 8 to 8. Now, of course, there's breaks and dinner breaks. Then the next day from 8 to 8. and then the next day from 8 to 8. So it's 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Why Thursday and Friday? Because we're going to be calling live the lenders and everything else to learn stuff on the phones, what you can do live. Then some of you we're going to package, and some of you what we're going to do, we're going to apply for credit live right there to let you see what happens, so you can actually go, oh, okay. Also, we're going to show you the art of packaging. And I said the art. It is a lost art. On top of that, we're going to borrow the, we're going to use the, we're going to do the old-fashioned way. So we're not going to do it through a computer. We're going to just fax it from a fax machine, and you guys are going to learn how to print everything out and do what you need to do to send it over. And then the turn now, we're going to call back again. And I wonder what happens. I wonder if the possibility, does it go to the same place, or does another person look at it, and then do they make the decision? Because now they have paperwork. All I'm going to say is that we're going to show you different ways to skin a cat. This one particular seminar, I'm not going to go ahead and do a live where we go to Sam's and apply. We all get in line and apply at Sam's, and we start calling, and it's crazy what happens. It's awesome. It really is. Because you find out it's just stuff that's usually missing. It's not like a no, because you, even if you don't have a score, it's not because no, it's not even going to personal guarantee it. It's because the information doesn't match. Something's missing. So they're just going to ask for proof. And that's why you're going to have proof downloaded on a jump drive or on your computer or somewhere where you can go get it. Okay. All we want to do is repackage you so you can actually be successful what you're up to for whatever your dreams are going to call forth. Also, another that you're never alone, which means this: once you join our team and family, you're never alone. Some of you ask if you have some work. Sometimes we feel you're good for one area, some might be good for other areas. But let me tell you this. One thing about this is that we'll always give you an opportunity to make something for yourself. And then on top of that, you can go ahead and what that to be extra for you. One of the most beautiful things is that I don't look at you like you don't know what you're doing. I look at you to enhance what you're doing. Again, over here at corporatecreditblueprints.com, we do not here, or the staff here, we don't look at like you don't know what you're doing. We look at you like you know what you're doing, and we're just going to enhance what you're doing. That's it. That's how we look at you. Why would we want to look at you any other way? Because that means now we're judging assessment and opinions. We don't have time for that. I'm telling you, the dollar does not have time for that. And all of you that are out there that are the smart rats that think they know it all, really, you tell me what's next after next inside your business of the next, and I promise you, you don't know what's next in building your next of your business. So that's a long way to go out. I'm not going to tell you who told me that, but it's pretty brilliant because they're the top #1 person in the income earners in the world. If you haven't figured it out by what I just told you, there you go. Now, remember this, folks. You are great already. All we're here to do is to fortify your mentality and your behaviors to get you where you say you want to go. Stop relying on what you're relying and begin to rely on what you're building and the structure of it. Business credit will never betray you. You will betray your business credit before it ever betrays you, because it can't betray you until you betray it. The minute you betray it, it will start betraying you. Think about that for a minute. Excuse me. Now, on top of this, another thing you want to begin to learn is this: plan on the problems. We're going to show you in the live seminar how to plan on the problems. Also, some of you, we're going to also start getting some of your credit straightened up at there as well. We're going to give you some documents you're all going to mail from there. Whatever it might be for, we're going to give you the documents right there. And you're going to mail the stuff out. Whatever is on your credit report you don't want there, we'll give you what you need to do, or we'll have one of the people that works in that department, you'll call them and they'll to see what else is going on for you to go ahead and do that. Or if you already have everything straight, you need some more stuff to get bigger cards because you hit a bump, that's not a problem. Or we have somebody else we'll refer you to that will go ahead and get it done for you because he is really good at what he does. I'm not going to say who he is, but I can tell you the gentleman, he just logged in and he's here. He's in the YouTube. So we'll refer him to him because he's good at what he does. Now, safety credit is the line of defense. What we want to do is get you to where you're taking care of your personal and your business. When have you ever heard of a business to want to make sure that both sides of you are balanced? You must have safety personal line of credit. The business takes care of all the bigger lines, and the most you're ever going to use maximum all your cards. If you have $100,000 worth of cards, all right, together, you should have no more than 25% of that all spent someplace, no more than that. The rest of the $75,000 is left for an emergency, like when the COVID came up. If you got shot down real quick because you lost a job, you know you're going to need money. Then you could have went to the bank and said, or if you set your business up right, you could have had charges done right. Or you could have went to the bank and say, cash advance, please. Or if you had your credit card machines set up through the divisions correctly, could have went to the division and run your money through real quick and have the money, and also then you'll be able to make your payments as well. And how you learn how to do that in the classes. But one thing I want to say to you is you'll never be without as long as you have a structure and a foundation in place so you can go ahead and weather a storm on the personal side. Then on the business side, you'll have the money to handle the business so you won't bring the pain home. Another thing is everyone all talks about this. I'm with the next slide. Hold on. So we just want to make sure that you have the plan to go ahead and take care of your personal side as well. Also, a lot of people, individuals don't understand a credit score comes from several factors on the business side of it. The paydex score comes from one single factor. If a business makes a prompt payments to its suppliers and creditors within agreed upon terms of payment, then most lender suppliers are looking for a score of 70 or higher. Well, that's what Dun & Brad says. Now, I say you want a score of 80 or better. Don't believe the 70. Yes, you'll get credit, but 80 you'll get more, okay? That's all I want to say. If you own a business, your paydex score is essential in establishing new credit and continuing to build credit lines exceeding $100,000. A lot of people do not think that they can go now. Excuse me, let me back up again. I misquoted when I said a lot of people think this way. No, a lot of people are told. If you listen to a lot of YouTubes, a lot of people are told, oh, no, you're going to have financials. You're going to have tax returns to get $100,000 and this, that, and the other thing. Well, let me tell you, false and true. False and true. Okay? What does he mean? It means this. You're going to find out how you can do that without doing tax returns. And it's simple. You don't apply for more than $50,000 at one bank. Go to another bank. Oh, but wait a minute. Hey, Mr. Just in Case. Yes? You have other 3 divisions that are under tax ID with us too, yes? And they all make the criteria. Would you like to have a credit line with them as well? Can I sign the same way I did with the other one as well? Well, sure. I don't have the personal guarantee it? No, not over 50. All right, I'll take the other 3. Folks, I'm telling you, it's simple. A lot of you don't have a lot of stuff set up because of the fact no one spends the time. See, we dig down. We drill down. I want you to drill down so far that no matter what happens, your foundation won't shake when the storm comes at you. I don't care what kind of storm. I don't care if it's COVID 55. You'll know what to do when it's coming. Like that lion, you're going to run to it. Why? Because you know what to do. Next thing I tell you, 4 points of income, real estate. A lot of you, we've said, we have private money to lend on houses to flip. Because a lot of people are into real estate. And we're doing some flips all the time. Not us personally, but people come to us for the money. I said, go into real estate, learn how to flip a house. Flip a house, first of all, to make your money. Flip a house to make some money. Flip a house to make some money. There's 2 things real quick. Flipping a house that makes money and something else that I have, another program that we have other people in that it has to do with real estate, but that also makes the same amount of money as well. Maybe a little more because it's something that's already there. This you have to work a little bit. Other one, you don't have to work too much. Just got to call, talk to a few people, and then from there, if it's a yes, it's move forward. Send them the documents, we move on. But real estate, yes, it's there too. I tell you franchise. But here's with the real estate. With the real estate, we're getting deeper in this as we go on. At the seminar, we get real deep into it. But the real estate, what you want to do is, like I said, flip a house. You're going to make it maybe a couple thousand, 3, 4, 5, depending, or maybe bigger than that. I'm just giving you a real basic low number because I don't want to be here to say you're a financial planner. No, I'm not here to be your tax consultant. I'm not here to be your attorney. I'm not here to be your CPA. All right, I'm giving you stuff that we do that works and has been working, and we're still working it. All right. Then eventually you get it to a point. Okay, you're flipping 3 houses a month. You say, you know what? Next month we're going to flip 3 houses, but out of that one house, I'm going to start saving that money. And then next month you do 4 houses. So you because now you understand what you're doing. So then you say, instead of flipping 4 houses, I can go ahead and make it comfortably on 2 houses. Or you say, I'm going to take the lowest house, the first one, I'll take the highest house on the second one and save the other 2. Because you can make it on the, because you're making it comfortably, you're paying it, taking care of your survivalhood on those 2, and you're saving the other 2 for a big deal. Now you might want to go to a franchise. Here's how you start. You start with a real estate area. There's a lot of stuff in the real estate area. All right, so you start there, whether it be flipping or doing the other stuff I was talking about, but I didn't mention the name on it yet. And then on top of that, let's say you want, maybe you become a broker, whatever. You make money there. Then you realize, you know, I can really make it on 2 houses a month, but I'm doing 4. I'm saving the 4. But if you have a dream written down, you know what you're saving for. I'm saving for that franchise. What kind of franchise? You have to figure out what you're willing to do. And then are you willing to go ahead? Are you going to go, let's say if it's a franchise for, I'm going to use Subway, just as it doesn't have to be, it can be McDonald's if you want. But are you going to be the one going to school, or are you going to hire someone that's going to work for you that you're going to put through the school? Because when you pay them for the franchise fee, that's who they're going to train. And then they train you. So you can do other things while your franchise is being worked. And you work out an agreement with the person that you're going to put through the school. So you get a franchise. Then you want a profit sharing. Then you want to leverage money and also your credit. Leveraging money and credit is what you're going to be doing. You're going to learn how to become the bank. You're going to learn, hey, I have an extra $200,000. So guess what? I'm going to loan out $10,000 or $25,000 or $20,000 or $25,000 increments to homeowners that need it to do whatever it might be. And then you charge there, and so on and so on and so on. What I'm saying is that's why I'm saying, if you write down what you're up to and where you're going, what I said, then the commitment comes. See, if you break any commitment in here, you'll feel it. You will feel it, not only financially, you'll feel it financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, socially. All those 5 areas will be hit because you broke your word. And you say, oh, come on. Really? When people break their word a lot, it's because they don't have an intimate relationship with their word. If you had an intimate relationship with your word, all of us, including me, including Bezos, including Walmart, including Costco, including whoever you want, Apple, including the Fortune, whatever, even a person down the street that's making, God, he's making $1 million a year. There's a level to your word that you have a relationship that also reflects the money that you make and also reflects the credit that you get, because then there's certain things you're willing to do because you're going to spend that money to get the credit. So when you have the credit, then you're able to write that off, the money that you spend anyways to get the credit. But a lot of you don't look at it that way. You're able to take off the top now. You're not being the modern day plantation to where now you get the leftovers and you become the slave again. Every time you get paid, from no matter what it is from the state or the government, you are a slave because you have to do certain things to acquire it. That's why the statistics show you got to plan it correctly. In fact, I'm going to go away. I'm going to get the statistics before I say it. Like I did the other stuff, I showed you some statistics before regarding businesses, why they go broke. It's due to lack of funding, and I got that out from a magazine that does this. I'm going to show you something, statistics that people that rely on the government, what the percentage of them really make it or not. And it's horrifying because you get comfy. You get relaxed because you know you got that to count on. You got to put that money away, save that money, and go out and say you don't have it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to bring it up next week on Wednesday. I got to go get it, but I'll bring it up for you folks to see. The stats are horrifying. That's why I'm saying when you have a relationship with your word, an intimate relationship, then things happen for you. They begin to pop. They pop. They pop. They pop. They pop. They pop. They pop. Why? Because now the world or the universe gets the communication that you mean. You say what you mean and mean what you say. A lot of people say what they mean, but don't mean what they say. But the world begins to get that you have a commitment and a relationship with your word. Now the universe begins to go, oh, they mean what they say and say what they mean. Okay, cool. Let's open the door. What I want to let you know, folks, is that no matter what happens in life, it's based on you. No one blocks you from anything. I don't care if you're from planet Mars. Doing business credit is not prejudice at all. When you apply online, it has no idea who you are. It doesn't care if you're a Martian. As long as you have your tax ID, DUNS number, paying your bills on time, that's all they care about. They don't ask for what, I need a DNA test before we get, man, maybe on the personal side, they might do that. But again, on the business side, it doesn't matter. That's why I have told you from the beginning, a lot of you, from the beginning, even if those of you that haven't heard in the beginning, I have said at the beginning, go back to all the YouTubes, you're going to find out this right here. Your line of defense is going to start from your top corporation building the business credit. From building the business credit on top of this, what's going to happen is this. You must name that business that has no relationship, which means like this. You don't name it Tom's Painting Company. You just pigeonholed the business. You want to name it something like Colton International. What in the world is Colton International? What is that? Colton International. That is craziness. But yes, you want it that way. Colton International is only going to be the company that's building its business credit. And the line of business that it's in is business management, because you're going to have the line of defense, which is going to be your divisions or subsidiaries, whatever you want to call them, trade names, whatever, still a division. A DBA of a corporation is a corporation. A DBA of an LLC is an LLC. Now, they all will use a tax ID number. Some of you are going to use the non-incorporated way, which that gets a tax ID number. And remember, debt follows tax ID, but you don't want to have it there too long because of the fact you want to begin the unincorporated, you want to eventually get incorporated, but you can still build your corporate credit and your DUNS credit and your Equifax and other credit to that. And then within 6, 8, 9, 10 months, 12 months, you can go ahead now do an LLC or a corporation. I recommend a corporation, but again, I'm not here to be your attorney. I'm not here to be your financial advisor. I'm not here to be your bookkeeper, but I'm going to tell you why we say corporations. In fact, next week, I'll even probably put it up here and show you the difference between everything. Corporation has more protection, so I'm going to tell you inside of that area in bottom line terms. LLC just pretty much leaves the door a little open to you to go ahead, will cause you a problem later on down the road, because I did show up in the area where an attorney that's also was a judge, I believe, or still is a judge. I'm not sure which one, but he's the one that said he rips them apart all the time. Why? Because it still has the shadow of being, guess what, a sole proprietor inside of, because most people usually end up co-signing. See, this is why I'm saying people don't tell you this. Co-signing is dangerous, especially in an LLC. Co-signing is dangerous because now what do you do in a sole proprietor? You co-sign. You co-sign for the LLC sometimes to get the credit. A lot of people didn't tell you this, but I'm going to put his attorney's information up there again. Call him and say, well, if I go ahead and do a line of co-sign for a line of credit, or for the other lines of credit, the ones it's called the hybrid program, nothing wrong with it. But you're still, if you're an LLC, okay, you're still signing for it, and you're still going to be on the hook for it if something goes wrong. And if it does go bad, before you get yourself off the hook, you're still going to be on the hook because of the fact that you personally co-signed and guaranteed the credit. So everything else will show that you guaranteed everything else indirectly, and so on and so on. And I understand this because I used back in what was it 90s, 90s, 94, 95, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. I used to go ahead and testify on behalf of LLCs, and I know what to say to go ahead and rip them apart myself as well, because it's easy to show. That's why I know what you don't have a good defense if you get yourself in trouble. In the beginning, not no big deal. You can eventually switch it over, okay? Because it's when you start getting to the $1 million mark, things kind of get a little wacky. But other than that, you're okay as long as you don't hit nobody or hurt nobody. But what happens is that you want your corporation, because the corporation has more protection, because you have to go ahead and there's a special thing you do. You first of all, you have to have a meeting to get permission to go ahead and co-sign on behalf of the corporation. The corporation has to give you permission to do certain things. If you can't just go and do free willy, if you do, you just committed fraud and you'll be in trouble. So what I want to let you, I'm not here to be your attorney or advisor on that. I'm not here to be your, what do you call it, your financial or CPA, but go check it out. Those of you that are fact checkers, call up an attorney and say, hey, is it true that I have to get permission from a corporation, not an LLC, but from a corporation, if I have to do stuff like if I'm going to apply for them for business credit and they want me to co-sign and I decide to co-sign, then if I have to get permission to co-sign in order to do that, or will that be considered fraud if I do it behind their back? Ask them. Ask them about an LLC. If I personal guarantee something for an LLC and let's say I never get out of it and it goes bad, am I on the hook for the whole other stuff about the business if I'm the sole managing member? Or if I have other managing members? All right. Now, this is what I'm saying about here, SS4. You're going to find out eventually how to switch. If you have an LLC now, no worries. We'll build up, and eventually you'll have a meeting. You'll do this, and then This is what we go over also in the seminars: how to go ahead and change these so you have a corporation that actually has them under their umbrella, not under your name anymore. Okay. All right. So now, one thing you want to learn: you only have one Social Security number. That's it. Just one. You have one Social Security number. End of story. But SS4, which means tax ID number, EIN, however you want to call it. Old school, I call it a tax ID. All right, EIN, whatever you want to call it. But guess what? How many EINs can you have? Not you personally, but how many EINs can you go ahead and have your divisions to have? How many divisions can you have that have different EINs? Think about that for a moment. We'll show you that as well. Also, we do a lot of this live there too. Now, on top of this, you're going to learn never bring the pain home. You want this nice little happy little house just like it is here, all happy, because no one's going to knock on your door anymore and saying, hey, you owe us money. Hey, COVID-19 is at the door again. COVID-55, excuse me, at the door again. We just want to let you know, guess what? It is okay to go ahead and never bring the pain home. You don't have to have anything other than just do your business that doesn't bring the pain home and fix your personal credit so you can go ahead and have stuff no more than 25%. Remember, your personal credit was never meant to acquire items. It was originally established for emergencies. Yes, it was. Go back and check it. Fact checkers, go back and check the history, please. Do me a favor. But it was only meant, and then it was only meant, in fact, you were never meant to get a house. In fact, before the houses you would buy would be, guess what it would be? It would be because it was personal. Get it personal. And the bank would have you to have a banking relationship. There was no credit check back then. Folks, I'm telling you, for your health benefits is, guess what? Personal credit was not designed for you to have the car. I gotta have the car. Oh, I gotta have the mink, but I live in a trailer park. Come on. You want the mink coat to match you want the mink coat to match the lifestyle. Well, I go on TV and I rent the Maserati so I can show you folks what I have. Oh my God. If anybody would, you know what? In fact, next week I'll have it on there. I'm going to show you my first house I bought. I'm not going to tell you what kind of contract it was now. I'm going to tell you next week on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'll have it. I'm going to show you when I first started my real estate venture, 1990s. When I'm going to tell you when I started my real estate venture, when I got into it. Remember, I said I got in business in 1985. That's only 5 years down after that time. Now, got in that venture. And I'm going to show you the contracts they have now are no different names than what they were back then. Some fine shifts are made because times change, but everything is still the same. And what they're selling you is stuff that, remember, Carl, go look up Carlton Sheets. Go look up Dave Delgado. A lot of you might not even remember their names. Who are these guys? I know definitely the millennials will not know who they are. Go check up the name. And if you can, find his workbook and Dave Delgado's workbook online, wherever you can find it, and find it. And you're going to find those contracts are really no different than today. Option contracts, they were sold back then. Now they're trying to sell you the programs for, I don't know, 1997 or 1497 or something like that. All right, for those contracts that, yes, they're legally put together, but if you read them, there may be a few paragraphs are different, and that's about it, folks. I'm telling you, this is the whole real estate industry is not any different other than the age of homes, the type of homes, the area, the price of the house. What's different is that they're selling you stuff that really should only cost maybe $297. Really. Other than maybe their ideas how to sell this. In fact, the ideas you want to see on selling the homes and doing options, you can get them from, what's his name, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But there's other ones, older ones. I'm trying to remember. I'll get the books that I have. I got to pull them out of storage. I just have it all in my head now. The thing, and I actually still have the contracts, but they're updated. But one thing I want to tell you is they're just selling you stuff that was recreated, and they're selling you more inquisitive ways how to do it. And yet, those of you who are just coming into it, go check out 10 years ago. I'm not saying the programs are bad. I'm saying it's just overinflated for what they're really giving you. For the value, they create a value, and whatever you're going to pay, that's the value. I get it. I'm not saying their value is not worth it, but I'm saying really the real price is like $247, which you're going to learn from them because the contracts are from back then. I'm just kind of pulling the cover. In other words, the Wizard of Oz. Who's behind the curtain? This stuff's been around way before they were born, the ones that are showing them. Not that they're bad at giving out the information. Information's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the price of the information is not as it's already been aged. Even corporate credit, same thing. I remember when I first started in '85, people used to hide it from you. You tried to dig for it. I mean, you had to dig for it, but if you ask other people how they were doing it, well, you just got to get a tax ID and they turn around and walk away real quick. What the heck's a tax ID? That's, all those things. That's why you learn never to bring. That's what I'm saying. It's a seminar. You learn a lot more than you do on YouTube. Now, I don't know what everyone does, and I'm not really sure about getting whatever that people call monetize. I mean, lately, I don't know why a lot of people are giving us a lot of thumbs up. They're subscribing. I have no idea why. I'm not asking for those. If you like it, that's cool, I guess. Because I guess if you, how do you say it? If you subscribe or you press the bell or something, you get notified. Okay, cool. If you want to be notified, then I understand that. But thanks again for the folks that you've done that. I really appreciate that. But that's not what we asked for. We just want to educate you. That's all. We care about you getting where you want to go. And of course, we'd like to have you on our team. That's it. All right, here we go here. Boom. Now, like I said, make it rain money. Make it rain. Make it rain. This is how you want to walk with that kind of confidence. And I don't care if you're 150,000 years old. This is the way you're going to walk when you know you have money, OPM. When you have $1 million, does it make a difference if $1 million cash of your own or $1 million cash you have access because you have a business that you're a founder of that you work for that has $1 million cash? Yep, we won't buy some real estate. We're going to get down and dirty, or we're going to buy a franchise. How much does a Subway franchise cost? I think it's $250,000, $300,000. There you go, right there. Is your return going to be worth it? This is where you check it on paper. You find out if the return is going to be worth it. Absolutely. Here's the thing. You're going to learn to spend money that's going to make you money. A lot of you spend money like $600 a month on stuff that's useless. I'm not saying deprive yourself, but in the beginning, you might have to just go ahead and just stop a few things because you spend about $600 a month on not just Starbucks, but other useless things that provide no return. But the $600 you would spend on building your corporate credit gives you a return, which means this. Let's say you took that $600 and you invested to go to all the programs in 1 month. To buy all the programs in 1 month, which means you go to the necessary places, you go ahead to sign up a membership for your business where they start reporting, and then you have another place to do this. You get yourself a gas card, then you get another gas card, then you get yourself another. Now people laugh when I say another gas card. If you don't have 3 or 4 gas cards, you're done. You're going to take you a while to get your DMB, but you're going to have to, pay. Some will require $200 up front, $500 up front, or you find other places that require. There's at least 2 places you can get 2 gas cards for sure. And the 3 places you can sign up, you're going to pay a membership fee and report, and then you're done. Then you're going to get your score in 30 to 60 days, depending on the billing cycles. But again, we go over that in the seminars more. It takes some time to do it. Then we can go step by step. And I promise you won't fall asleep because I don't. Now, with that said, I want to say thank you for being here. Corporate Credit Blueprints is 888-471-4252, extension 2001. All right, awesome. There's a free guide to consider in training on how to get the money for your business. You can discover how to get your access to these types of financing and business credit. Here's another thing too. Some people that have signed up with us have not read the book. They're relying just on the training. That is like dum-diddy-dum. Because some things we might skip over because we figure you're reading the book. Oh, well, we find out this too, especially when we take people to the seminar live. There's stuff that we go over in the book. Where's that at? And then we pull out the book and say it's on page 2. All right. So, and the reason why we like busting you there is because we just really want, put it this way. We bust people that way because of the fact we really want to let you know, look, this is not a game. This is your life. We're trying to point out this is your life for your family. This is a life for yourself. This is a life you want to make a difference in your community. For those of you that belong to a church, you want to make a difference in your church, then you have a way to give back on Thanksgiving, Christmas, or during the year. You can donate some stuff. Maybe they need office supplies. Maybe they need some, during Christmas, stuff for children, clothes, books, where they go back to school. Thanksgiving, maybe you can hold a little small hall where you can feed, 30, 40 people. You can donate it. You get to write that off, folks. Hello. All right. Now, on top of this, then also another thing, you could be able, I'm telling you, this time next year or this time at the end of this year, some of you join up for the elite program where you when you get done in 90 days, you have $120,000 showing, reporting on your business and everything else like that. You're able to get your fleet cars way before the season. This is what? So let's say you start in February. That'd be March, April, May, June, July, August. August, you'll be able to apply for your fleet cars, Visa, MasterCards. But a lot of you, I have people that pay for that program and they disappear for a couple of months and they ask, are you ready? I said, what do you mean am I ready? I'm waiting on you. People are funny. All I'm going to tell you this, folks, is that the bottom line is it's up to you. We can lead a horse to water, but we can't force it to drink. And the reason why tonight I'm having this particular conversation with you folks in a live arena that the whole world can say he is a big ass. No, if that's what they think of me, hallelujah. But remember, listen to the information. Is the information correct? Is the information being accurate? There's no judgment, assessment, and opinion about you because I already tell you, we don't look at you what is wrong. We look at you what's already doing that's working, and we want to enhance what's working so you can get where you're going and give you some extra tools to get you where you're going to go. That's it. And the reason why I mentioned about goals is so you guys, if you don't have something written down, you might want to understand why the 1% have what they have and why you have. If you're saying, well, I don't have my credit, I can't get corporate credit because my score, that's not true. That is not true at all. What you can get is your business going. You're just going to do what everyone else does. You got to build your credit. I don't care if you had let's say you had an 800 score. and you had good credit on there, real depth, a house paid off, a car paid off, and a new car on there. You had a $50,000 corporate card. Here, if you had all that, you can go get a hybrid loan right now for your corporation. Absolutely. We could do that for you like anybody else can. What they have, we can do, no difference. Okay, so now you go get it. All right, now you have $150,000 in revolving credit that reports. Guess what? It's still going to take 60 to 90 days anyways. So whether have 100 trillion, 100 billion, billion dollars, it's going to take you that long. Same amount of time as a person is building from scratch that has, has two nickels to rub together. There's no different, folks. Time, there is not a microwavable corporation that, if it's done correctly, that will have any problems. If you want to take a shortcut, there's some things that will cause you problems down the road, and those are the things you want. You go up, and some people have been burnt before. I heard another story the other day from one of our people that are from our team members and part of their family telling me, yeah, they were burnt by the companies, and all of a sudden they disappeared. They went into the witness protection program. The only witness protection we're going to take you to is to your corporation, because you're going to learn how to design your life to live inside of the corporation. Do you think Bezos worries about anything at all anymore? Folks, come on. We're going to go ahead and give you everything you need to do and to win with, no matter what. Even when you lose, you're going to win. And you'll see exactly what we mean by that in the seminar. All I want to say is get your free business credit report and score. Click the bottom below. Set up your no-cost 30-minute consultation. On top of that, if you go to corporatecreditblueprints.com, corporatecreditblueprints.com, or corporate-credit-blueprints.com, you can go there too. corporate-credit-blueprints.com, you can go there too and get your free book. We'll tell you what lenders to go to. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for being here tonight. God bless you all. I wish you score and get that scratch card and win your lifetime of what you're looking for. And whatever your dream is, go chase it. Be that lion. Do not let them go ahead and defeat you. And remember this: lions don't care. Lions don't care, and lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep, because the opinions are just opinions. They only become real when you believe they are. Just remember, here's our opinion of you. We know that you're great. We know you're smart, and we know you're action-oriented. That's what we know about you. All right, guys. Good night. Good luck. And most of all, bless you.